Practical Team Assignment 1 resub. So the first sport that I'm going to go on about is football, and I'm going to talk about how the matches started and restarted after goals. So before the match, when it starts, a coin is tossed by the referee with both captains present of each team. One of the captains would say heads or tails, and whether they get it right or wrong will decide which team takes the kick-off and starts the match. The match is started with a kick-off, and this is when the ball is placed in the centre of the pitch, and whichever team who won the coin toss will pass the ball back to one of their teammates, and the match begins. Before the ref blows their whistle to start this play, they need to ensure that both teams are in their own half, and when they are, the ref will blow the whistle and the teams are able to play. This happens at the beginning of a match when a goal is scored and at half-time and extra time. If a goal is scored by one team, the opposition team would get the free kick. No, the kick-off. So now I'm going to go through the scenarios. My first scenario is an offside. So first of all, an offside is when a player is closer to the opposition's goal than the ball and the second to last opponent. This is also including the defensive team's keeper, when their team tries to play them the ball. The reason why a player would want to be close to offside or offside is so that they're able to get a head start to the defender as the ball is played over the top, so they'll be able to get there first. However, some players forget to look at the defensive line and start to make the run too early, so the linesman would see the player as offside and he would raise his arm with the brightly coloured flag in his hand to notify the ref that the player is offside, so that the ref is able to blow his whistle and stop the play. A free kick would then be awarded to the opposition. This free kick would have to be taken from where the offside was, and to make it easier, the linesman would be standing at the point where he called the offside so that the player could see roughly where they placed the ball. The free kick would be known as an indirect free kick, as the ball would be in the team's own half, so they wouldn't be able to shoot straight away. The ref would then blow his whistle to start the play, and the free kick would be taken. After the free kick is taken, the two teams would then play normally. My second scenario is the team being awarded a free kick due to the opposition tugging their shirt. It starts with the player driving with the ball as their opposition is trying to tackle them. The opposition then starts to fall behind and starts to pull the shirt of the player with the ball to slow them down. The ref and the lino closest to this sees it, and the lino would raise their flag to show the ref that they have seen a foul, and the ref will stop the play as this is classed as a foul and gives the free kick to the team who is already attacking. The free kick is placed roughly in the same place which the foul was performed, and this would be just outside the box, meaning that it is a direct free kick, as the player taking it would be able to shoot straight away. The taker would wait for the ref to blow the whistle and start the play, and then they would take their free kick. My last scenario for football is when the team is awarded a throw-in. At the beginning, a player would be driving the ball down the side of the pitch, and they may take too big of a touch, and the ball goes off the pitch and crosses the touchline. The linesman would notice this and raise their flag in the direction of what side the team is which has won the throw-in. The ref would see this and blow the whistle and award the team a throw-in as the opposition touched the ball last. The throw-in would be taken at the point where the ball crossed the touchline, and the taker is allowed to take a run-up. If the player takes a foul throw, then the opposition team would be awarded the throw instead. It would only be a foul throw, though, if the player didn't have both feet on the ground and they didn't have both hands on the ball. To take the throw-in, the player doesn't have to wait for the referee to blow the whistle again. They can throw it in to one of their players when they are ready. However, they can't take that long. So next I'm going to go on to netball, and I'm going to talk about how the game starts and restarts. So the way in which you start a netball match is by one of the teams doing a centre pass. The first centre pass is decided between the two captains in a coin toss, like the football kick-off. After the first centre pass is taken, the centre passes throughout the game would then alternate. Throughout the game, the centre passes would then alternate between the teams. after a point is scored, regardless of which team scored. Before the whistle is blown, both teams should be in their defensive third except for the two centres. The centre who isn't taking the centre pass is allowed to freely move around the centre third, and the centre passing the ball, once the whistle is blown, is under the rules of footwork. Once the whistle is blown and they pass the ball, they are allowed to freely play. So now I'm going to go on to the netball scenarios. My first scenario is an offside foul being given. This scenario starts with the blue team's centre being in possession of the ball and is attacking the opposition's defensive third. They have released the ball and given it to their goal shooter. They move to try and receive the ball again as the shooter doesn't have a clear shot. However, due to them doing a fast movement and get away from the defender, they take a step too far in the centre, so that ends up in the opposition's goal circle. This is noticed by one of the umpires, and they blow their whistle and call it as an offside due to the centre entering an area which they aren't allowed in. As a punishment, the opposition team would win possession. The umpire would give the opposition team the possession of the ball, as they have been awarded a free throw at the point where the offside was performed. And when the umpire blows the whistle, the player taking the throw is able to pass it to one of their teammates, and the play will carry on. My second scenario is that I'm going to explain is a foul due to footwork. Firstly, footwork is when a player takes more than 1.5 steps while having a netball in their hand. The scenario would start with the team passing the ball around the court while the opposing team is trying to defend them. A player on the attacking team may make a quick movement to create space for themselves to receive the ball. However, while making the movement, their teammate on the ball passes too early, and they are still on the move. Due to this, the player is unable to stop on the spot and loses balance, causing her to take another few steps to get her balance. The umpire would notice this as footwork and blow their whistle and call it as a foul. And due to this, the umpire would give the opposition a free throw on the spot in which the foul was performed. The last scenario that I'm going to talk about is a replay ball. Firstly, a replay ball can be 3 things. The first thing is when a player may lose control of the ball and pick it up again if it hasn't been touched by any other, which is not allowed. The second way, which can be called is when a player catches a rebound from a shot on goal if the ball hasn't touched either the post or another player. And lastly, a replay ball can also be called if a player tosses the ball in the air and catches it again afterwards without it being touched by any other player before they catch it. The scenario which I'm going to explain involves the first one. The player may get past the ball, however the pass isn't the best. Due to this, the player would catch the ball, however they would drop it due to them not being able to catch it properly, and it bounces and they catch it again afterwards. The umpire would see this and would blow their whistle and call it as a replay ball, as they caught the ball after the bounce without it touching any other players. And the umpire would then reward the opposing team with a free throw at the point where the foul happened, as this is classed as a foul.